episode number 1 of Let's Get Social with Scro Financial. And today we have the faces behind Scro Financial. We have Monica Martins. Hello. And beside her is Sandra Ortenzi.
Hello.
And of course, me, myself, I am Dee Scro. And I wanted to have the three of us on this episode together because, I find, with COVID, we never had the opportunity to actually meet people face to face. All of our interactions have been through either a phone call or email. And, even just putting a picture on our Scro Financial social media, it still isn't the same as actually people seeing who we are.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, who is Monica? Who is Sandra? These are the questions people want to get to know who we are. So this is the reason why I thought it was important for all three of us to be here. Maybe talk about, how did you get here? Why become a mortgage agent? Monica?
I want to help people. I think me going through the whole process of me getting my first mortgage and not knowing anything about a mortgage, and just not being put in the best mortgage to suit my needs, and seeing how many people actually don't know what they're in, and just actually helping people and using their house as a benefit for them as well. I mean, I come from old school Portuguese parents who their mentality was you work your whole life, you pay off your house, and that's your goal.
Yeah. Same with me.
And that was it, right? Nothing else. You don't use, your house. Yeah.
No credit cards,
Yeah.
no payments, no mortgage.
Yeah.
Everything's cash.
Everything's cash. Yeah. You pay everything and that's it.
Oh, how times have changed.
Yeah. So, and, just realizing that, there is people out there in my situation that have been put in mortgages that do not suit their needs, and they have no idea what they're in. So just helping people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's amazing, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Sandra?
I think as mortgage agents, we can all agree helping people is our number one priority. We want to make sure that they are in a situation where they can afford, and they're going to be thankful and grateful that they're not put into a situation that will get them in trouble down the line. Like Monica said, a lot of people don't understand what's behind a mortgage, what's involved in a mortgage, all the things that these lenders look at. So that's what we're there for. We're there to guide them and help them and make sure that they're put into a solution that best suits them. So helping people is number one. It's key.
Yeah, for sure. I came from, a previous brokerage where, support wasn't there. And, that was key. Anyone can just become a mortgage agent.
Yes.
Like you said, you read that book through that course and then you take that book and you throw it out.
It really means nothing, that book.
It means absolutely nothing, right? And it's like, okay, now what? Now what do we do?
Yeah.
And, our goal is we want to help people, but how can we help them if we are not properly, educated and supported on the back end? And I found that, by being, Carmen Costa, who's our principal broker, owner of TCG Lending Centers, being her assistant for a couple of years and seeing exactly, how to work deals and what not to do and what to do, because there were certain things that, no, that's not the right way to do it. But that was the only way I was taught.
Yeah.
Right? So when I started, Scro Financial, I wanted to take those values that were, taught from Carmen and how she runs her brokerage and hopefully bring that and help us together, right?
Absolutely. And it's been amazing. And every day it's a new learning experience because things are changing.
Yeah, every day is a new learning curve.
Every day we learn something new,
Yeah.
You never think you know it all.
No,
in this
Monica,
industry.
you've been there. You've been through where lenders have, they don't get back to you.
Oh yeah, or they throw me a
And-
curveball.
Or yeah, exactly. You think all the conditions are done and they ask for something else.
Yeah.
And how do we prepare ourselves? Because let's get real. Like clients get annoyed.
Oh, yeah.
When we ask for documents.
They do, but they don't understand what's behind it as well,
Yeah.
right? So I know it's annoying, and
Yeah.
I know it's you got to dig for it, you got to look for it, and I totally understand it, but it's stuff that we need.
No, for
right?
sure.
Yeah.
And I find that a lot of this generation, they do all their stuff on their mobile app.
Oh, absolutely.
So everything
Yes.
is screenshots. And,
Yeah.
and okay, it's convenient, but when you're getting text pictures of like documents and you go to print them and they're blurry,
yeah.
or they're not,
Then you got to ask for them again.
or you see their hand in the picture.
Yes.
I'm like, can you just please scan this document?
Yeah.
But I find that, how do we be that agent to, we don't want to annoy the client,
Right.
but be there and say, listen, if you can provide me this stuff up front,
Yeah, which we try to do.
which we
Yeah.
are
always
all
try to
on
do that.
board of
Yeah.
what we try to do.
Yeah.
Get all that difficult, annoying stuff off in the beginning. And doesn't it make the whole deal just transition so smoothly?
Yes.
It does, because if we have everything that we need up front, then
Yeah.
we know exactly, what we need to submit, when we need to submit it, and instead of always going back and bothering the client, or well, we need this now, we need that now. And I find it also easier too when the client is looking for the documentation to get everything up front, right? Because you're in that moment of everything, where you filed everything and you're looking for it, so it's just easier for the client as well, just to grab all the documents that they need all at once.
Yeah.
It's supposed to some people have it in boxes in the basement,
Yeah.
and they got to go through it. So it's like, I had to go back down in the basement and get it. And I had a client that was like, I have it in the boxes in the basement. And I was like, okay, sorry, but we need this now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I just find it's easier when they're in the moment of looking for everything, just to tell them up front all the documents that we need. And then there's sometimes where, the lender does come back to us with documents that we need that we didn't know that we needed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So
No, for sure. Like people will see the conditions on a commitment and they are like, I provided everything. And then you have to come back and tell them, oh, now the underwriter wants this,
yeah.
and really they could ask at any time
For anything.
for anything.
Yes.
Yes. Do we tell our clients that, like, be prepared that these are the conditions as of now,
Yeah.
but keep in mind that they can ask you for more documents.
Absolutely.
So, get ready.
Yeah,
get ready.
remember 3 days before closing, they
Yes.
asked for a bank statement, and I
Yeah.
was like, what?
Yeah. And
We were like, file broker complete. Yeah, but sometimes it happens.
no, for sure.
Yeah.
And that's where I find, our challenge is, because we're in the middle between the client and the lender, we always want to be on the client's side, but also respect the lender as well. Right.
100%. Yeah.
And, I try to have those conversations with all of my clients saying, listen, I'm going to prepare you. This is what's going to happen.
Yes.
This way they're already aware. And then I find that they don't get annoyed.
So easily because they're kind of expecting it.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
And I will tell my clients that you're going to hear a lot from me.
Yeah.
We're going to need a lot of documentation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to constantly be calling or emailing or something, some form of communication. So,
Yeah.
so they're prepared, and for the most part they're respectful and they appreciate it. They actually I find
Yeah.
that they appreciate when you keep in contact and let them
100%,
know
yeah.
where we stand with your deal and with the lender at this
Yep.
time.
Yeah.
Just give
Right?
them a follow up, even.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
okay,
like they're
this
not-
is where we're at.
yeah.
Instead of the silence, because the waiting game is horrible
It's
for everyone.
horrible for any
right?
situation.
No, for
So
sure.
at least if they hear something, they're like, okay, this is where we're at.
Yes.
Even if it's, the lender still hasn't gotten back to me.
That's
At
right.
least they know you haven't forgotten about them and you're checking up on them
Yeah.
and making sure everything's
Yeah,
okay.
and
still.
every client is as important as the next,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh,
we
100%.
We cannot,
Yeah.
we can't forget about our clients. We
No.
have to keep
No.
in touch with them
No. And that's
all the
thing.
time,
Right. And that's important too, to follow up with them, because then that way they don't feel forgotten.
Yes.
Right? They feel like, okay, you're on top of it.
Yeah.
Even though nothing's happening, but at least they know.
Let them think that they're the only client, right? It's not you and 100 other clients, right? So
You know what, Sandra? That is like so. I'm glad you said that because that's one thing that a lot of our clients say. Their feedback is like, you guys make us feel like we're the only one you're working for, or you know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Which
And they
it's
know
not.
we're not. We're actually very busy. Thank you.
But that's how we treat our clients.
But that's how we
right?
treat our clients. And, to be able to text a client, even off hours.
Oh, constantly. I feel like I'm, it's not a 9 to 5 job. We all know that.
No.
There's no such thing. It's more the opposite, I find, because people are working.
Yeah.
So a lot of times they're messaging us after
Yeah.
hours in the evening or on the weekends.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes.
Or when
in
the
this-
kids are screaming.
Yeah.
Like,
1 second. It's funny because I had a client say to me the other day, they're like, "You pick up every time I call you. Like, this is amazing." And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Well, yeah,
yeah.
It's our job.
it's our
right?
job." But when they come from, I guess, a bigger bank or another brokerage or another agent that doesn't pick up their calls, that doesn't return their texts or their emails, and then they come to us and we're there for them, whether it be email, text, phone, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Yeah.
you do want to, sometimes you do, sometimes at 8:00 at night, a question comes to your head or a concern or
Yeah.
something, right? And you
Yeah.
want to be able to contact somebody and get
Yeah.
your answer.
Like shoot out that message to us. We'll
yeah,
we'll
it's a-
always answer.
It's a peace of mind,
Yes.
right? So I think we offer that 100%
Oh,
with,
for
with all
sure.
our clients.
For sure.
Right? And I think that makes a huge difference because I've had a lot of people, and I'm actually surprised of how many people told me that they can't get a hold of, their bank or
Yeah.
their mortgage agent
It
or
boggles
their
my
broker.
mind.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, oh, I've tried for months. And I'm like, what do you mean months? They're like, I've tried for months. And no answer, no
Wow.
reply. And these are big banks.
Yeah.
And I just look at it and I'm like, wow, are you serious? Like, even I had a client who couldn't even get, her penalty, what her penalty would be.
Yeah.
She tried for several months trying to contact her bank and nobody would respond back to her. So finally we send an email and try to get, some response. But, obviously the client was the one who had to contact them. But,
Yeah.
but nothing. And that boggles my mind because you want to have, especially with big banks or big companies, like you want that connection with your clients. You want to be there
Yeah.
for your clients. You want to answer their questions or any concerns that they may have. And a lot of them don't.
No, and it's funny you said that because I was talking to a client this morning and he's with one of the big banks and, he's been with them for many, many years.
Yeah.
And they had said something to him because he was put into a mortgage that he didn't know.
Made aware of.
Well, yeah, he wasn't made aware of. And he said, this is what happens when a business gets so big
Yeah.
that they just drop the ball. Like it's like not, I don't know, do they not care? Because you're just another number coming in. And I just can't imagine, getting to a point where I just drop the ball on people, where my service, all of our service is going to be to the point where, we just don't care. Like, oh, well, you're just somebody else will come. And that's what I'm saying. You always have to know where you've come from, where are your roots.
Remember.
You know what I mean? Be humble and be grateful. And, I know that the three of us, we just don't think like that.
We
No.
don't. We all have the same work ethic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's important. And that's what makes us
Yeah.
a great team.
I think we just make it more personal as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
important, too.
We don't look at people as just another number, another
No.
client, another, like we treat them like friends, like family. You know what I'm saying? We don't treat them, like you said, just another number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Sandra, when you had that interaction with the client, we had the same dog,
Yeah. Yeah, I called
Just-
the client the one morning and she picked up and her dog was barking in the background. First time I spoke with this client, she was, can you hold on just for one moment? And that was an icebreaker for us. So when she came back on, she was apologizing and whatnot. And I said, well, that's okay. I said, I completely understand. I have a dog too. And that was our first conversation, was about our dogs.
Yeah.
Then we got into the mortgage questions. So
Yeah.
we became friends, right?
Yeah.
And to this day, she's wonderful. She's a wonderful lady. And but that is an icebreaker, and that's important.
Yeah.
And treating them like family, like you mentioned, Monica, is key for us. We always want to do what's best for the client.
Oh, for
And
sure.
if it's not something that is good for us, or it would be good for a family member, we wouldn't put the client in that situation either.
Yeah.
Right? So treating them like family is key.
Yeah, because we have clients where the deal just did not make sense. It was, I wouldn't even think about putting this client into this mortgage. Perhaps there's another broker out there that will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would never put someone into a mortgage where it didn't make sense for the client.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We have to be 100% with it as well, right? If we feel this is 100% suitable for you and this is what we feel that you need or that will work for you, we won't do it.
No, for sure.
And telling them everything up front. You can't keep things.
Yeah.
Fees, of course, is the number one thing. People want to know if there's any fees that they have to pay.
Yeah.
They don't want to find out later.
Yeah.
No.
As a surprise. And
No. And Monica, you're very...
Yeah.
yes,
We've dealt with this with a client where he had no idea.
That's terrible.
He had
You
no
lost
idea.
that. You lost that deal.
I lost that deal, but I would prefer, and like I told him, I prefer to be transparent up front and tell you everything that's, all the fees that are included with it.
Yeah.
Your discharge fees, everything was up front. We found out everything. And he decided to go with it. And I said, that's, obviously you do what is best for you.
Right.
Yeah.
But I prefer you to know everything up front and make the decision knowing everything.
Yeah.
Than make the decision based on only half of the information.
Yes.
And then coming back and being like, oh, I didn't know about this. I didn't know about that.
You never told me that.
You never told me this. It's not going to work for me now. And then we're both,
Yeah.
Yeah, but now look what's happened.
Yeah.
This client's come back.
It's come back. Yeah.
So, it's your honesty. You may lose something, at the beginning,
Yeah.
Yep.
but then it comes back.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I find that that's the way we need to be.
Yes.
We have lost deals.
Yeah.
We've lost a
But
deal.
we've lost them.
But we lost them because we couldn't provide what the client wanted. Right?
Right.
We had a deal that just closed recently. And Monica, you spent a lot of time with this client. She had a great relationship with you. She trusted you right from the beginning.
Yeah.
And, we just couldn't provide what was good, what she wanted.
Right.
Right.
So she chose to go with another broker, right?
Yeah.
And what was our response to her?
Oh, we wish her all the best. I mean, if you found something that works for you somewhere else, by all means, I mean, obviously you do what is best for you. And I wished her all the best. And, I told her, we can still keep in contact. And if anything comes up, for her to call me. And we left the door open, but I wasn't mad at her. I wasn't, we don't get angry with somebody or with a client if they decide to go somewhere else. If that works best for you, then that is what you do.
100%. And what ended up happening,
Ironically,
Yeah.
She came back to us.
She did. Unfortunately, she wasn't treated so well where she went, and it didn't work out for her. She didn't get what she wanted, and it just didn't work out at all. And it was, but in the end, she came back to us,
And we were able to get her
we made it
everything
work.
she wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I love that. I love that we didn't burn that bridge.
No, we actually got her more.
Yeah.
Yes,
We actually got her more.
than
Yeah,
what-
yeah.
So actually, the second time around, we actually ended up getting her more. So
See, it all worked out the way it was supposed to work
Yeah,
out.
for sure.
For her.
Yeah.
But had we reacted the way this other broker
Yes.
did, when she had told him that she decided to come back to us, had we have gotten this deal? No way.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
But and that's the thing. And we we all have the same mentality.
Yes.
Is if it doesn't make sense for the client, or we know that we just can't do it.
No.
We're not gonna,
Force somebody to do something they don't want to do, or no. If
Yeah.
it doesn't work for them, it doesn't work for them.
no.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always the best interest of the client and what is best for them. And some people don't get that. You know,
Yeah.
some people, they get mad or they get angry at the client, but it's like, it's what best suits them.
Yeah.
Right. And they have to feel comfortable about what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And they have to know what they're doing. And I feel that when you try to force somebody into doing something that they are not 100% with, it doesn't work out.
No, never.
No.
You know?
Nope.
So, and that what was happening on the other end with this other agent, and she kept in contact with me and telling me everything that was going on, and I was just like, this doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. And then I didn't hear from her for a while, but then she called us back, and she's like, I decided not to go with him anymore. And I was like, okay. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. You know, and she's like, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. And she told me everything. And I said, that's fine. And there was no hard feelings there. And there should never be.
No, never.
No.
You
never.
know?
No.
There should never be. If the client finds something, that works for them and is in their best interest, we have to, obviously honor that and obviously be happy for them, because it's like what works for you, then that's what you do.
Yep. Yeah, and that's with any business, right? There's so many contractors.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many painters, whatever, insurance brokers.
Everything, yeah.
Lawyers, you have to connect with them as well, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Even us, we have to connect with our client.
Oh, for sure. We have to. Yes,
Like,
absolutely.
If
It's
we
so
have
important.
that gut feeling right from the beginning, odds are it's probably going to be very stressful.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like interviewing people.
Right.
It really is.
Yeah. They have
Yeah.
to relate to us. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? We have to relate to them. It's like, it's got to work. And it's funny because then some things when it's, even on deals that don't work out, there's people that still refer you to them. They're like,
Yes.
you know what? It didn't work out for me.
Yeah.
But I have this great, person that can do your mortgage.
Yeah.
That helped me out tremendously and was very transparent and honest with me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, it might not work for that deal, but that person will always remember you for being honest, and it will refer you to the next person.
No, for
100%.
sure. How do you guys feel about, rates?
Rates are going up, as everyone knows. They keep on going up.
What's the number one thing with people?
Well, people always want the lowest rate. They don't know what goes on, how they get the lowest rate.
Yeah.
And what it involves. So,
But that's just one part of the mortgage.
yes,
Yeah. You know,
it's not all about the rate.
Yeah. But that's all that we see advertising.
Yes.
And that's all we hear, about mortgages is
Yeah.
the rate.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And that's the only thing that people really
Yes.
know. It's give me the lowest rate. But it doesn't mean you're in the best mortgage.
That's right.
Yep.
Right? So I
And
think...
And it's our job to explain that
Of course,
to them, right?
But I mean, that's the only thing that's advertised that they ever see on, commercials
Yeah.
or, social media. It's rates. Get the lowest rate. But that's only one portion of your mortgage. It's the other components involved in it as well that are very important that nobody talks about.
No, and that's the thing. People don't understand that a rate is determined on your credit score.
Yeah.
A rate is determined on how much you're putting down.
Mm-hmm.
A rate's determined whether you're doing a 30-year AM versus a 25-year AM.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Are you a B lender? Are you an A lender? Are you a private? You know what I mean? Like, we'll have clients calling us and saying, well, I just saw advertised, 199. And I'm like, okay, it's like,
Did you read the fine
what's
print?
involved?
Did you read
Yeah.
the small little writing underneath it?
And I can't stand that because...
Well, because it puts us in a predicament, because then we're the messengers and we have to explain to them why they don't qualify for that 1.99.
Right.
Right? And then,
Yeah.
and it's, once you explain it to them, of course, they understand it, right? But like you said, all they see is lowest rate, 1.99.
Yeah.
Well, I want that.
Yeah.
Okay. Does your criteria fall under that? And that's our job to explain to them.
Yeah.
No, for sure. And, the way that rates have been quickly, increasing.
On the rise, yeah.
Do you think we're going to be at a point where people are not going to be worrying about the rate and more about, I just need to get a mortgage.
100%.
Can I get a mortgage?
100%.
Yeah.
Do you think we're heading that way?
We're heading that way. But I mean, I think the number one thing is always going to be the rate for people.
Yeah.
Until they understand, like I said, all the components that are involved with a mortgage. I think the number one thing is always going to be what's the lowest rate.
Yeah.
Right? Until we sit down, we're like, okay, well, that's one part of it. Now, this is the other components involved with your mortgage.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, it's going to be really different than it has been in the last 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I want to have that phone call without the first question being, what's your
What's
best
your best rate? What's your best rate?
I want,
Yeah.
can you just get me a mortgage?
What's the lowest you could get me?
Yeah.
I'm putting it out to the
Yeah.
universe.
Can I just get a mortgage? Can I get
Can
financing?
I just get a mortgage?
Yeah.
Well, that's where it's going to come into on how you treat people and your relationship that you build with people. It's going to come down to people want to trust you.
Yep.
They want to know that you're knowledgeable and they want to build that relationship with you.
Yep.
They're going to trust that you're giving them the right advice or the right information,
Yeah.
right? So at the end of the day, rates are continuing to rise and people might not be able to get financing,
Yeah.
right?
is
So
scary.
it is
Yeah.
scary. It's
Yeah.
very scary.
That's when our problem-solving skills come into play.
That's
That's
right.
when
That's
You
when
know
we have
what?
to figure out
Yeah.
what
exactly.
That's
You know
right.
what? Let's end this on a high note. We are gonna be we are magicians.
we do work some magic.
We do work some magic, and we hope that if you are watching this, that you give us a call, see how different we are, and we're actually fun to work with.
Yeah, we are. We're fun to work with.
We are professional, but we're fun. We
Yeah.
we keep it real.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
We're very transparent. That is one thing with our brokerage that we have been taught, and for us it's simple because that's how we are as human beings. So, and that's how we want to portray ourselves, and that's key.
So last thing here, maybe a quick tip. What would you give for a first-time home buyer?
First-time home buyers. Once you get that commitment and the mortgage is broker file complete, do not run up your credit cards.
That's a good one.
Not on furniture, not on anything, because lenders can check at any moment, again, on your credit. So we don't want to
Monica,
jeopardize that.
Just save.
Tip?
Save. If you're thinking about buying a home, save as much as you can.
Yeah.
That's it. Just save, because there's a lot of things that come after when you own a home, right?
Yeah.
So it's just save as much as you possibly can. I wish I told myself that.
Yeah,
Yourself.
we all do.
And my
We
tip,
all do.
use a mortgage broker. We have your back all the time. We are your number one go-to person that will help you get things done when it comes to mortgage financing. Again, this is Let's Get Social with Grow Financial, and I'm so happy that you guys can officially meet our team.
And we hope you continue to watch. We are going to be doing this a few times a month, so we hope to keep it going and we get an audience. And any questions, please reach out to us anytime.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Yes.
All
thank
right.
you.